Death for the black person, resurrection for the white person. Diamond of Diamond and Silk has conveniently, and I emphasize, conveniently died. She's conveniently died, very similar to a lot of black people on the internet that are part of various different things that may have upset a particular system at a certain point in time. Now, let me hurry up and get into so many things because this is going to be a multi-part video. So, being that I have so much to say, let's hurry up and dive into it. Number one, I've noticed that ever since the beginning of the Trump era, there was a systematically created and structured group of political black people. They were conservative. I maintain that Donald Trump is an agent of the deep state and that the Trump supporters that support him, most of them just don't know it, even though there's about a good, I would say, 7 to 15% of them who are starting to kind of wake up. He's an agent of the deep state. I don't want to explain certain stuff, but I will just say, as I always say, if you're looking at anybody on TV or the media, the only thing that I can tell you people is that God did not create the media on the 8th day. Neither did he create TVs. All of this stuff is owned and controlled. So therefore, you have a convenient message that is, you have messages that are time stamped. For example, the cousin of Black Lives Matter founder Patrisse Cullors was literally killed just a few days ago in Los Angeles. Not a word, not a peep. His name is Keenan Anderson. And on top of that, he's 31-year-old school teacher, killed in LA. You don't think that was targeted? You mean to tell me out of every nutbag in LA having a mental episode? I heard it was a car accident, but they were sitting him on the corner, had everything calmed down. Then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, after being surrounded by a bunch of officers, he takes off. But that's not my point. Look at how she's not saying anything about it. This entire country was ripped to shreds just 2 or 3 years ago by this woman's organization, and she can't say anything about her own cousin being killed because, according to the deep state that run the media, her time is up. So it doesn't matter. Now, back to Diamond and Silk. Diamond is dead. Look, I believe Diamond was killed. There's too many people that go against certain social narratives who are just conveniently disappearing, being killed, put in jail. And the only thing that they have to do is just be popular and influential. The Tate guy, boom, in jail. Put him in jail. He's too popular and people are listening to him. Put him in jail. Kevin Samuels, dead. And don't even get me started on these black men, these old spiritual guys and all that. Yes, true. A lot of them may be very culty and whatnot. But hey, as black people, we got hipsy people too, okay? We got people that are hipsy and like to listen to all type of just cosmic, out of this world stuff, okay? But the very second that a bunch of these guys get a big time following, boom, he's either dead, put in jail, or just wiped out of relevance with scandal after scandal and everything about his past bought up. Now with Diamond and Silk, look, they were both highlighted at the beginning of the Trump administration as the blacks that were designed to be put on TV and news media and everywhere else and made to appear to be this black foundational group of people that were very much into Donald Trump. But that little media era is over with right now, but yet they are kind of like, with the way that the deep state operates, they're kind of like the fat dude that passed gas in the room, even though he's been gone for 10 minutes, but the funk is still there. They are part of this old group, and by old, I mean outdated by 2 or 3 years. They're outdated by about 2 or 3 years, and they need to be done away with, and they must have still been popular. Now, they were on Fox News, and this is what I've mentioned about Fox News. White bigoted people don't care for conservatives, because at the end of the day, conservatives are going to be doing a black conservative is going to desire the same thing that a white conservative desire. Not so much as social political values, but family and resources for children. And if anybody just views you as separate, black, white, then that means that their resources are going to have to be shared. Your children's resources are going to have to be shared with theirs. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if a black person gets around a white person and is conservative. It doesn't matter. They will sit there and listen to you spew and spat certain conservative values. But at the end of the day, your children's resources are going to have to be shared with theirs, and they don't believe in that. It doesn't matter how good and how friendly and how much they like you. At the end of the day, they have to not necessarily rock with you because you're looked at as different. The only thing that you need to know is, are you looked at as different or other? Your conservatism doesn't matter. And when it comes to all these black conservatives on TV, it's in radio and news media, it's not the conservative aspect that they're listening to when they listen to these black people. It's the clown aspect. It's the jigaboo. It's like if a black person wants to sit up there and say that this black person deserved to die because you were arguing with the police, or these black people should be made homeless because they're living on tax money and they're lazy and they don't want to work. Even though the majority of the people that live in housing just about work 2 jobs. They have low paying jobs. Or, if you want to say that, there are no black people in tech because black people have low IQ and they don't get into tech and they're just good for minimum work. Yeah, look at him. He's a dishwasher. That's what a black person's good for. I mean, what are you doing putting in an application at MIT? You don't have the IQ. You're just going to be an unqualified person who was forced through the system. Look, if a black person wants to sit around a white person and say things like that, that's perfectly fine. You'll get millions of followers. But if you say that you're against homosexuality, which Europe and white America allows because they do not publicly convict pedophiles that are part of the Catholic Church, who has molested over 300K young people in just the last 50 years. If you express simple values and family and stuff like that, I tend to notice that those conservatives don't really get listened to. It's people that have a clown element to themselves, a characterized element to themselves. And it's that characterized stereotyped element that so-called white conservatives are really latching on to. They're not latching on to simple conservatism. And the thing about black news media when it comes to conservatism and Fox News is not even allowing any type of black political conversation to happen. If you look at Fox News is totally segregated. This is why it doesn't surprise me one drop. I called this out months ago, that you can look at Fox News in the exact same news channel that allows politicians to platforms politicians, allows them to have an anti-gay message and become elected based off an anti-gay message and use their platform to push an anti-gay message. That same platform turns right around when it comes to black people and allows gay black men to lead shows where they are the leaders of moral projection and what are the ideals and everything in the black community. As a matter of fact, there are no straight black men on the black side of Fox. So it doesn't surprise me that conservative, like with her being a conservative over there on the right side, just look at the left side of Fox. She was out of place. So of course she was dumped. They were dumped, and that this is potentially an assassination because her mouth was too big. I'm going to be coming back with part 2, 3, and 4. Stay tuned.